Welcome to podcast 326 of 5-Star Potential, your weekly Football Manager podcast. I'm Dupe, and on this week's pod, I'm joined by Joe, aka Friday Night FM, Paul, aka Mad FM, and Dave, aka George Alacobi's Body Double. Welcome, gentlemen. How are we?
Who it is?
I'll say that, every day of the week.
I have no idea what that is reference to. I am just like Ron Burgundy. I'll just read whatever's on the prompter. So, yeah, I take no responsibility for that. Gentlemen, we are recording this.
Whoa. You want context?
Oh, sorry, I thought we were ready to go. I do need context.
You just said you don't know the context. So it's Mick McCarthy. Basically, he says he's George Alacobi's body double. So it's a Mick McCarthy meme.
Okay.
Mick McCarthy.
The only one I remember of his is just where he's stirring the tea and then he looks up and winks at the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's...
Merlin the Magician. Yeah. That was his first ever interview at Wolves. That was good.
Don't stand for Merlin Magician.
What's he doing now? Is he busy? Can we get him on the pod?
Good do.
He's manager?
Nah, he packed in Blackpool before the end of last season.
Didn't he go to Cyprus for a while or something, no?
Yeah, that was before Blackpool.
What's on holiday at the moment?
Huh? He went to Apple World, didn't he, for a year or so?
Dave, get him on, mate. Get him on.
He was in Wolverhampton.
Get on the LinkedIn, Dave. That's what you're going to do.
No, what you need to do is go through Clipboard.
What's that? Oh, for Terry Connor. Yeah.
You nearly didn't get that.
No.
That's
been like a special program or something.
You've been fucking treated, mate, to all these continental managers. You've forgotten your roots, mate. Oh, Clipboard Connors.
I'll let him off because it is very late as we are recording this on release day, Monday. So what the hell are we doing and why are we not playing the game, gentlemen? That's the big question. Joe and Mads, have you started your saves with Famalicao and AIK? I mean, Mads wearing the shirt. Joe, where's your Famalicao shirt?
It's right there, mate.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Sponsored by
my affiliate club.
You've already moved already, have you?
You started, Joe,
yeah, you was watching it beforehand.
True.
Pretending like you don't know.
Trying to prompt you there for the listeners, but anyway.
No, to be fair, I have just been getting me staff in. Nuno Gomez, straight in the bag, mate.
We were talking about him because he's been a very good head of youth development for a while. And I always remember whenever I wanted to decide him not as a head of youth development, but he only ever wanted to be a head of youth development. Did you manage otherwise, Joe?
I did, mate. He's coming as a coach.
Nice.
Got a band back together with Kuto.
Who's your assistant manager?
I've replaced him, to be fair. And I've just brought in someone called Louis Olim. Olim.
Is he Irish?
To be sure. No, he's Portuguese.
Nice.
Going full strength with the backroom staff from day one.
But that's part of it, right? You got to spend at least 2 or 3 hours doing your backroom stuff. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong.
No. 10 minutes, mate. You saw what I was doing.
I was going to say, we've got to be impressed with the fact that you got your spreadsheet out. I mean, I was quite impressed by that, and I love a spreadsheet.
But mate, to be fair, when I start doing backroom stuff, I always get my own little staff calculator out. It's just like I've seen people, like this week, the Python man, Jake the Snake on YouTube. He's got out there showing that. I've seen people with proper calculators and stuff like that. But I just go cool original with my spreadsheet, do my own little numbers game, and just get the right person in. I was thinking this earlier. I feel like I might be a bit of an old fart with football now. I hate VAR. I hate analysis. I hate statistics.
That's me.
I like scouting by eye. And then I'm like, oh my God, am I them old cunts in Moneyball? Where they're sitting in that room like, we've been scouting for 40 years. And then Dr. Benji comes in and changes the game.
Isn't that where he just points at him and he's like, because he gets on base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well done, man.
We might be all like that. In fairness, Joe, I had a guy reply to my tweet today because he said I've been playing FM longer than he's been alive and he's got 2 kids and he's married.
I should think so. His username made 1882. He's fucking well old.
So wait, he'd been playing what? He'd been playing FM longer than you were alive.
No, he said, because I think I wrote in the blog that I've been playing FM since like 1996, and he was born in 97, and he said he's married.
He's my age and got 2 kids.
Yeah.
I suppose.
That's depressing, isn't it? I mean, I'm probably the same level as me. So I
didn't know if he was. I didn't know if he was digging me out or actually just saying that's an interesting fact.
Take it as a compliment, Mad. Take it as a compliment. Shall we jump on to what we're going to talk about this week, and actually maybe talk about what we're supposed to talk about this week, and also we'll be popping to Italy for our adventures in Wonderkid-Land, and Dave is going to be finishing off at the end with a lovely quiz. But before that, let's have some winners before we jump too deep into this. Joe, who's your winner?
Absolutely. Well, not you, because you've just bottled the script.
Again.
Man that loves comedy doesn't read comedy.
It is comedy, absolutely. But who's your winner?
Dave, because he's going full Bukaki at the end and finishing us off. It's release day, baby.
With a quiz.
My winner of the week. It's release day. I've been waiting for this for ages. In the GC, when shall we record the podcast? Turns out we can only do it tonight on release day. Played Football Manager about 3 minutes. So sooner we get this shit done, sooner I'm going to carry on for a late one.
Yeah, I mean, we also sat and watched that incredible game of the Tottenham and
VAR
and Chelsea. Yeah,
you just sunk my VAR. Fucking
Dave,
shit game.
Help me out, Dave. Who's your winner of the week?
Mate, South American football is my winner of the week.
Ooh.
Copa Libertadores final. Sat in here, watched extra time with you boys.
Loved it.
Mate, you know what? I don't watch many. I think I said it to you boys over the weekend. I don't watch much South American football, but whenever I do watch it, they just kick the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
They simulate at every opportunity. They were shooting on sight. So I mean, all 3 goals were class, but then the winning goal, takes his top off, runs into the crowd whilst he's already on a booking, gets sent off. So it's got a bit of everything. I think
for the wrestling fans that, because there's a massive wrestling Football Manager crossover. I think who scored the winning goal, Dave?
John Kennedy.
Mr.
Kennedy. Yeah.
I always thought John Kennedy played for Watford in the 90s. Am I dreaming that? Or
could be. That's probably why they named him.
It's quite a famous one that got shot as well, mate.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. No, but that was really good.
John fucking Kennedy.
Awesome. Mad, what about you? Who's your winner of the week?
Well, kind of echoing with Joe in terms of release day. Also, I was going to mention the trailer for Football Manager 2024 is pretty incredible. Yeah, that's serious.
Did you see the tweet up? Did you see the video I put underneath the tweet?
The video
on the pod. So basically,
mate, just watch it now, and we'll have to. You could play it now. Play it now.
Give me 1 second.
Play it
so
now.
what do
you
you
get it on screen?
Yeah, you can put it on the screen.
Well,
so if you're on YouTube, if you want to see this, get on the YouTube.
If you want to see this, but you're listening on Spotify, you have to go and find us on YouTube because I would have forgot to put the link in the description.
Oh my god!
Okay,
I've just seen the name of it.
We do video pods now.
Joe, it's 4 minutes long.
Just play a little bit of it.
It'll be fine.
All right, give me. Let me do
for context for people that are listening. Basically, today's advert is fantastic. They've put loads of effort into it. Top footballers in it. This one is from FM 2006, and it does feature Miles Jacobson.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, his own
big 240p resolution. Let's go.
That's the best quality I can do, by the way.
Tell us about Football Manager 2006.
Look at this.
What can we expect in the new game?
Word.
Big MJ in the back of a stretch limo.
Well, we've got a host of new features that we're really excited about. For
There's a big man.
Being able to interact with unhappy players. It will be down to you as the manager.
Wait till you see this feature as well that comes up.
Whoa.
We've also added manager contracts, which they can use to negotiate
What's this t-shirt he's wearing?
Things such as player purchases or new training facilities.
It's funny how Mars has not changed one bit.
The training module is now not only easy to use, but people are going to want to use it.
It's got a beard.
We've also got player position indicators so that you can actually tell quite
It's like
easily
Chris
what a
Kirkland
player's
or
best positions
baller
are.
goalkeeper.
I'll be honest, mate. In the back of a
If you're not doing
limo,
well at half time,
It's brilliant, though, isn't it?
it looks like the start of a really bad porno.
Listen to the music as well.
Playing well, you can
Yeah.
praise them or
That's what I
or
mean.
tell them they've got to do better.
Boom, boom, boom.
Is this it?
We've also improved every other.
No,
area
it
of
was
the
more
game,
just miles in the back of a
including
limo
the
compared to
matches,
today's
and,
advert. That was all
and
it
all of
was.
the media modules. You could say that it's the perfect football.
It's come a long way.
Wait, what's going on now?
Go on, that's it,
Bit of Welsh,
my
Welsh
neck of the
football
woods.
added to the game.
Electronic game, eh?
That's the idea. It's a really exciting.
Okay, say Miles hasn't changed. He looks about
4
30
for you.
doesn't he? Yeah.
He looks like the kid I used to bully at school.
Attack it, that's it! Get in there! Good boy.
I feel like this is a dream I'm having or something. Is this real?
This can't be real.
There's a pack shot there. There's loads of things planned for you. There's TV interviews. There'll be press conferences. We're going to do some posts.
Well,
as well.
Jimmy
If you are
Savile
listening on
on there, to be fair.
Spotify, if you are listening on Spotify or
If you're listening on
iTunes,
Spotify,
you've gotta
Luke should
watch
have cut this bit out.
Yeah, dude, cut it out because I won't be able to hear it. We'll turn it off now. I can't, like, just turn it
That's
off.
it.
yeah, there
Soccer
you go.
ball on it as well. Football Manager 2006.
So that's
What a
your
game.
winner of the week, is it, Matt?
Well, yeah. I mean, in fairness, they've come a long way because the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, so we've got Mitoma, we've got Jeremy Doku,
Ferguson.
Gavardio, Ferguson is on it.
Ferguson, yeah.
Ansu Fati.
It's
Ansu Fati.
And I know Andrew from Sports Interactive was well chuffed because there's a couple of tweets that flash up around Mitoma, and one of them's his, so he's well happy with himself. But yeah, release day video definitely, and with that, also starting the AIK save finally. And the one thing I just want to shout out, because it's only, as I said, because we're recording, haven't got that many hours done yet. Swedish Wonderkids are a thing, a little bit so far. We spotted, so I've been keeping my eye on a couple of players in AIK. One is so a guy called Taha Ayari. His brother moved to Brighton last year, I think, from AIK in real life. He looks pretty good. And then the one I'm really excited about is his name is Jonah Kusi Asare. I think he's 16, and we were looking at him just before recording, lads. He's 6'5". He's got 17 jumping reach. He literally, because I start in February, the Swedish league starts in February 23. He's only 15 when you load up the save, so a lot of development, few traits to be added there because he doesn't have any meta striker. I think that's where my mind goes.
I can't wait to see you fuck him up.
I'll be sacked by the time he's like 17. Dude, don't worry.
Getting a job in IKEA.
How old has he got to be to play, like in the league? I mean, we'll get a little bit deeper into your save.
I need to check.
shortly,
I need to check it. I know he's not. I
yeah.
know I can't even offer him a contract or extend his contract yet. So that's as far as we've got.
Well, we will
But,
find
yeah,
out a
looks
bit
good.
more about Sweden shortly from you. My win of the week. I'll be honest. I'm going to go with what's in the script here. I reckon the win of the week's got to be me. I get a lot of stick from you lot here on the pod because I cock things up, can't say things, and all that stuff. But I am absolutely killing it as Manchester United manager on Football Manager. We will talk about it shortly in a bit more depth. But I am going to say that the inverted fullback role is incredible. And I will, again, touch upon it later. But I am the winner of my week because I am amazing. at Football
You have
Manager.
literally been every night. Oh, they should let me control Man United every night.
Nah. I mean, there's a lot more behind the scenes. I can't. I mean, the commute would be awful, to be honest. But yeah, and to be fair,
It's the only thing
I
stopping
wouldn't
him,
be very
really.
good. I think so. Yeah, definitely. No, to be fair, the only thing that's stopping me from doing better at Manchester United at the moment is that dreaded sofa, which is a little bit of an out of context for the podcast. If you ask me,
Give him the context because it is a dreaded sofa. He's literally
It's a
gone,
Saturday-
I'm just
it's
going to go and
Saturday
sit on
night.
the sofa because he hasn't built his
Yeah.
man cave yet.
Done a
Sitting at the
curtain.
dining room table.
as you can see, yeah. So look at these chairs, man. They are
Let's take a peek behind the
horrendous.
curtain, shall we?
I mean, it's literally just outside, man.
Oh my, yo, what was
Halloween
you
was
doing?
last
You
week.
opened that curtain and there was just somebody stood there. Oh
Dan
my
Davin's
days.
behind the fucking curtain.
My new goalkeeping coach.
with a bag of chips. Like,
Having
what are you
pause.
gonna do? Oh, mate.
Having
So
door.
yeah, really.
Opens the door and goes,
uncomfortable.
Doop, what do you think about the Adam Brazil Talk Breakfast show?
Right,
No
we're not
context,
recording
5-star
this
pod
late
again.
Again.
But yeah, I go and sit on the sofa, and I think I said to you two, I said, "Oh, just gonna sit down, and then I'll put match of the day on." That was it, wasn't it? We'll put match of the day on.
Yeah.
I think that was all I said. Next thing I know, it's 6:15. I'm getting a phone call from work being called out, and I was about to write a message in the Discord to say, "I'm sorry, gents," and the bastard had kicked me. So I was nearly off the pod. So that would have been a nice way to start the week. Right, let's not do any loser of the week. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we should be positive this week. We are all positive. We're on good vibes. So no losers of the week. But what I do want from you is save updates. So who is doing what? So, Dave, we might as well start with you because we just talk about a new save on the horizon. When the game when the game dropped, where are we and what are we up to?
So we're still at Wolves at the moment. I think I've sort of made a decision in my mind that I'm going to finish season 2 Wolves. I will stick with this save as an offline save. But once this is done, the main save shall commence. So I'm hoping by the end of the week, may go into early next week, we'll officially have started the Penty. So hopefully on the next podcast, we'll talk about the Pentagon Challenge kicking off. But yeah, I played a little bit more with Wolves. We're coming in towards the halfway point of the second season. Form, I think I said on the last pod, was all over the place, really. But it's picked up a little bit now. We're just dropping too many points, really, just not getting any consistency. I think at one point we were 6 matches unbeaten, but I only actually won one of those games. We were drawing. I was picking up more draws than IKEA at this point. So, but yeah, a little tweak in the system and formation. And yeah, we started winning some games on today's stream. So picking up some good wins in the league, beating Liverpool 3-2 despite being 2 goals down. Getting some good wins in the Champions League, beating Sparta Prague and Shakhtar. Typically, the only loss I picked up today was against Bournemouth, who at that point hadn't won in 22 matches. And then going, Wolverhampton Wanderers, I was being the Robin Hood of Football Manager and giving points to the poor. So, yeah, that was frustrating. But from sort of having a really mediocre sort of season, sat mid-table, all of a sudden 6 points behind the top 4. We're in the top 6 now and looking good in the Champions League. Obviously, we've got the new, they call it the Swiss League. Is that the format? The Swiss format? We're sort of top in the automatic qualifiers for that. So we've picked up some good form. We're looking good at the moment. January transfer window on the horizon. Still not got a huge amount of money. Still got Lionel Messi in my sights. So to be honest, I know some of you will disagree with that, but
give it up. Give it a rest. Come on.
Yeah, no. So,
move on.
But no, it's looking good at the moment. My squad is too big. I need to sell players anyway. The squad is far too bloated at the moment. So
Massively.
that'll be my aim for the start of January. Get rid of some players, and then if Messi happens, it happens, mate. We'll see.
Will it happen? Ballon d'Or winner, don't forget. So that money's only going to go up, Dave. I know you said you're going to talk about the Penty next week, but
yeah,
I mean, have you got like plans in like where you're going to start, where you're going to aim, or is it just kind of be off the cuff?
It'll be a little bit off the cuff, but I think because someone asked me what club I was going to start with, but I think you could probably start the game that way. But the way I've always played the Pentagon Challenge, and very quickly for people that aren't aware, it's where you start. Well, I would start unemployed, no coaching badges and experience, and the aim is basically to win all 5 Champions League trophies. Doing it however you can. So I think the time I completed, I started in China, gained my reputation there, then went to South Africa, and then North or South America, and then obviously ended in Europe. But you could do it whatever way, really. But yeah, really looking forward to it, to be honest. So I tried it a little bit last year, which I think I mentioned a few months ago, and that there was a bug on the game, which made it really difficult to do in a decent time. So yeah, give it another go. But I would assume I'll start in Asia, and we'll go from there. But hopefully, like I said, be some more news on next week's pod.
Dave, open top bus. What are we saying? What do we need?
Mate,
what can you do? How many seasons?
He mentioned that last time, didn't he? And he was like,
too many stairs.
And that's why he's not been on the pod ever since I completed that. Genuinely, so
Just
the end of that.
I just wanted to add with the Penty. Obviously, you're saying about starting in Asia. Obviously, you've got 3 J League leagues now as well.
Hopefully they work as well. Have they been fixed now? Because there was an issue on the beta, wasn't there?
Should be, but you have to see, won't you? But J1, J2, J3, Yeah,
That'd be good actually
But-
for the penny. Really
yeah, it'd be
good.
great, wouldn't it? It'd be really good.
Mm.
Definitely, yeah, and also brings the viewer in because it's the new kind of thing. I was thinking about the Penty, and I was thinking how I would do a Penty, and I think if it was me, I would probably go a little bit more realistic with it, and potentially start kind of as low as I can down in England, and then look to move away as soon as I can. But just to kind of instead of going to China or somewhere like that with like nothing,
Getting a bit of
do you know what I mean?
experience.
A little bit of experience in England, and then could potentially get picked up elsewhere.
It's not a bad idea because, to be fair, in England at least, I would understand. I know the players, know the teams. But I don't know. I'll see how it is because in China,
Mm.
the year I did it, I started with like a 3rd division Chinese team and almost had to sort of build up. But because I did that
Yeah,
so
no,
well,
I
I
did the
gained
same.
a reputation quickly.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'll be intrigued to see on this year's FM because I think you can gain reputation as a manager far too quickly on Football Manager. Like you could do a journeyman. I did a journeyman save a few years ago, and you could start non-league, and in 4 years you could be managing in the Premier League, which isn't unheard of, obviously. But I just think it's a little bit too easy. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to be following this
interest
with interest, Dave. I've never really done any type of journeyman or even jumping around, moving from team to team.
Do you
I
not
don't
move
think
when you get
it's
sacked
really-
then?
No, I don't get any other jobs.
Starts a new save.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, Matt.
Save and reload.
For you, Matt, like the way you like this is not saying that Dave doesn't put effort in his saves, but the way that you kind of like put real effort in your saves, I think like you are a one club man rather than a kind of a journeyman man. To be fair, you like to make it unique and kind of honed to a certain way. I think it would be difficult for you to jump around. I'll be honest, one of my favorite saves ever was when I did the penny. So I'm excited for Dave because Dave will love it again, and hopefully do it without any black marks anywhere on the page. Dave, we'll move swiftly
move on,
on.
mate.
With that
Going in
little
the
smile.
5-star pod book, that is, mate.
No, I'm sure I admitted to it. I'm sure I admitted to it when I returned to the
I
pod.
don't think you did.
I saw you was watching. You was watching a YouTube video earlier, weren't you? On stream.
Bro, I was watching it back.
Mate,
You know,
to
people kept asking me
Polkovic,
questions. Oh, mate, some of the players I had in that Real Madrid team,
Gary
I didn't realise how
Telford.
good they were.
Can you imagine Gary
Yeah.
Telford playing for Real Madrid?
I don't even remember. Like I couldn't even remember him. I was looking for Kelvin Obi and all the strikers I had at Real Madrid, mate. Kelvin Obi, mate.
Big Kelvin Obi.
Remember the name?
And that's,
Who was the
that's what
Beckham
it
one?
is.
Peter Harper,
Peter Harper. That was it.
mate. Unreal. To
To be fair, you loved that save.
You
Mate,
did.
bring it back. I want it back.
You should have just
And
never.
then people
cheated
bringing
on
up
it and then
Dongdahi,
been
which
fine.
wasn't. It was not a good moment in stream today.
No.
People
Oh,
bringing
I
up
was there when that
Dongdahi.
happened. You didn't like that
PTSD.
at all, no?
Yeah, mate. Bad.
Brought back memories for you.
Bad
With him
memories, mate.
chirpsing.
Yeah.
Top shagger.
I'll just never forget that Champions League final, and the stream
fun.
went dead, and he come back.
And I was
1-0
1-0 up.
and he was like, "No, seriously, honestly."
How could I cheat that though? There's no
And-
like, there's
and
no
what
way
is
that I
it-
could cheat
And it
it.
was also the fact that it's like the biggest moment. It lost the one before. This was like he was streaming it. This was the final piece of his Pentagon challenge, and he quick picked his fucking team.
Oh,
I was like, no.
That is peak as a party, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh mate,
Hit in the
Trust your
quick
assistant
pick.
sometimes, lads. Yeah.
Yeah.
you do it for the banter, don't you? You do it for the meme.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Delegation.
love it.
Mate, you're talking about save updates.
Well,
I know I've started Famalicao today, but mate, I played Boca Juniors after the Copa Libertadores. I loaded the save that I had up with them. I played about 30 games yesterday.
Yeah.
Mate,
Smashed
I
it.
played so many games. I said the same.
only a
I was
quarter of the
absolutely
season.
smashing it. Yeah. In Argentina it is. But yeah, doing great things. Asymmetric system making me throw up, but just doing different things. I've said from early access that I've not played the game how I'd normally play it because I don't want to spoil it until this save comes. So I've been doing all the things I don't normally do, like literally sending assistant to every press conference, like just skimming through it really, no highlights, just absolutely smashing through it. And it's been good fun. I was started to fly. River were top of the league for quite a while, managed to catch them and overtake them. And I showed Dupe a screenshot where I had there's probably 20 games where I didn't drop. I didn't lose a game. And then all of a sudden I had about 8 games and I couldn't win and I was getting absolutely tanked. So I was like, maybe that's the time to change the formation.
Do you know what? We spoke about it a little bit because with my save, I've been struggling with squad rotation. If I'm not rotating 3 or 4 players a game, like they're just dead. Whereas like
Yeah.
in Argentina, you're playing like 20 games a week. I don't understand how you can manage it.
Because I've always got 211, so I rotate. I don't rotate like fully every other game. I'll rotate like 2 or 3 players, and then a different 2 or 3 players, and then also between games, I'll rest the ones that are really knackered. Like I literally just go on the little conditioning heart, click on that to sort them. You know how you sort them in game, which fucking freaks me out.
Do you know, it's a
weird.
massive tangent, but I don't know why it upsets so many people.
Because it's weird. Who sorts their team in the tactics view by condition?
In game,
Yeah,
in a game.
You have it by
No,
position, don't you? Everyone does.
Yep, but hear me out. I do it in game because it's a quick, easy way to see who's tired, and you can work out.
Yeah,
but you could see like
there's only 11 that you have to look at.
Yeah,
and there's
but
colours.
I can't count to 11. You know, I don't.
He's
see
honestly,
what
if you've never watched Dupe play FM, like honestly, some of the things he does, he's unique. Let's put it that way.
I just play it the way I want to play it.
Anyway, rest players, rotate players. Obviously, pay attention to what your training's doing. Make it fit the schedule that you've got. All little things like that. You know, players will get tired. You know, I've seen so many people saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm getting loads of injuries." Look at the tactic they're playing, and they're playing like a fucking high press, like gegenpress football. It's literally got at the top like intensity, full red, and you're like, "Yeah, there's a reason why your players are fucked."
Is that because, like, I think you mentioned it just before we started recording, Joe? Like, there's the gegenpress tactic, but then there's some of the team instructions like that are within that you can tweak. Even like, you know, forcing or preventing their opposition keeper from short kickouts.
Yeah,
someone's gonna have to run and close them down.
Exactly,
right?
and I look at it as well. Like I'm going to use the phrase momentum, but I don't mean the graph that you see in the game. But there feels like there's big momentum swings in the game, like second half of football. And if you literally set and forget, like a high press, I feel that can sometimes, like, your players get tired and they make mistakes, which can then come against you. And I very much get to, like, if I am playing a pressing system against a side, I'll get to like 65 minutes and I'll take the press off and just literally just bring it back down. Maybe knock the intensity down one, especially if you're winning. You know, try and control the game more. Like I'll normally go take off, counter press, go a bit lower tempo, a little bit more shorter passing, maybe work the ball in the box, just literally let the players just knock the ball around and use their abilities rather than it just all being about like physical intensity.
You've said it before, Joe. It's like tools that are at your disposal. Yes, it takes more manual intervention in the middle of a game to do these things a couple of times, but that's what they're there for. And the other one that I've found success with before, or I've seen it fail, wing backs on attack. Like, they're not going to be able to do 2 or 3 games within 7 to 10 days if you leave it on for 90 minutes. So like I remember at the Milan save, pretty sure like I had Federico Di Marco as a wing back on attack, and quite often, depending on the game or whatever, either during the game I would just flick that back to support, or even sometimes drop him back to a fullback. And there was times, especially later in the season, when we've got happy birthday, your birthday.
What's going on?
Is it your birthday?
Doing an Alan Pardew, mate. He's loving himself.
For context, audio listeners, Dupe's webcam has all of a sudden just started producing balloons.
Dupe's gone round Curtis' house. It's Mr. Fredrickson from up.
I've literally just put my hand up.
Mate.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just can see balloons everywhere.
Is that on your what's that?
Anyway,
I don't even know where to go.
On the wing back, I was talking to Dupe yesterday about tactics, and we was looking at the tactic we're playing, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's the tactic I'm going to play with Rashford. Going to play like an asymmetric striker setup, one winger, which is similar to what I was doing at Boca." And he said, "Oh, the difference is I'll have my wing back on attack." And that's where, because I had my wing back on defend as standard. And then what I do if I'm looking to obviously chase a game or make a difference, I'll change them like to an inverted wing back on attack or wing back attack, something like that. I'll change them to become more aggressive rather than starting like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I only do it to try and exploit that space. And then what I find is because I can't I haven't got a good backup on the right back because Wan-Bissaka comes in. He's not really attack minded. I actually swap it around, so I then put him as an inverted fullback, Wan-Bissaka. Put Reguilon as the wing back attack. So then they're only doing like every other game when I rotate, and then I'll just kind of either put Rashford up top and drop Anthony down on the right, and it just kind of shifts the whole way round. But yeah, it's a good way of giving them a rest when I don't have the quality in the same positions. But yeah, I mean, I have to play wing back attack. I need that, especially with my struggling to score goals. So yeah, that's big for me.
I think what Joe has said is like you can use substitute players to shift or to change the momentum in a game, like based on the player you bring on. But like to Joe's point there, you can also use roles and responsibilities to also shift it, like you said, going more attack and more defensive within a role rather than just bringing on a different player.
Well, I was trying to help Dave out on stream without actually putting his chat the other day, and you can tell he's typical Dave. I was like, Dave, he was like, seriously, football manager phrase, getting overrun in the midfield. And I texted him and said, look, go on your tactics screen, click on the analysis on the top right, and then if you click the cog, it gives you the opposition kind of average positions. And you could see that because he's playing two Volantes on attack in centre midfield, they were too far forward compared to Chelsea. Like the Chelsea, basically his defenders had too many players to mark, and that was they were getting overloads there. It did take Dave 2 matches to figure out where I was talking about on the tactics screen, but he got there eventually, and now he's playing a DM.
The DM, mate, I think the DM helps a lot, man. Like, a lot, yeah. So.
But do you see how like little things like that, just using some of those tools, you can just go average positions, and you can just quickly go in and go right a quick little maneuver like you with your two Valenta. If you just put a defensive midfielder in there, like you'd have nullified Chelsea. They wouldn't have had anything against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it because I'm playing a single striker for the start of the time of my United. If I'm winning a game and I kind of want to sit back a little bit deeper, I'll just drop him to a deep line forward. So he kind of just drops into that half space and drops deeper and gives that support. But like you said, just those little tweaks can actually make such a big difference. And it is something that I am kind of quite conscious on. Playing with 3 midfielders, just instead of having a ball winner in the centre midfield role, if you drop him back as a DM and play him as a ball winner, that starting position is huge and it gives you that so much more protection. And it is interesting to see kind of what can happen when you do that.
But even like a ball winning midfielder role is an intensity role, like because it wants to go and chase down. And again, so if you're winning and you want to kind of just shut up shop, don't have a ball winning midfielder because he'll roam from position, so to speak.
So
he'll be chasing the ball, making spaces. So you could literally just like centre midfield defend, centre midfielder support, defensive midfielder, and you can have him not roaming from position. Like there's so many. You can look at positions, and if it's a position, like positional play is massively important this year because that's what they want. So that's players moving into different spaces. If you're trying to close down a game and you don't, and if you're finding your players are getting tired because there's a lot of movement, look at the roles that are very much static. If you want to close down a position, play a static role.
Very nice. Good tangent as well. Mad, how is it in Sweden? Joe, did we touched upon a little bit of Famalicao, but I'm assuming we're going to get a bigger and better update next week.
Mate, literally, I've gone start the game, most experienced player, his contract's going to expire, get my staff in. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, we'll hear a bit more about that next week then, because you should have a good little bit under your belt. Same with you, Mad, or have you had a little bit more?
I've probably done an hour more, realistically, in terms of the pace by which I play. But yeah, I started the new save, obviously, today on the day that FM dropped. A little bit of admin around, like, building a couple of training schedules. I often used to carry them from FM 22 to 23. But obviously, depending on the league, the game schedules are different. So like in Sweden, it's usually Sundays with the occasional Wednesday. So I was kind of having a look around there. Like Joe said, renewing a couple of contracts. I was showing you before we started recording. I have a goalkeeper who's 22. His name is Samuel Brolin. He's 6'8". His contract was up. He actually looks pretty good. He's wanted by Udinese, I think. So gone straight in to renew his contract. As I said, there's a couple of good young players in that squad that I want to obviously maybe get them into a couple of friendlies and they have to be a particular age before you can get the contract going. I don't know what that age is yet. We're not gone far enough. Other than that, I set up a couple of views. This is going to be very heavily focused on trying to have as many Swedish kind of players come through as possible, but probably branching out towards Scandinavia. And then if there's other players that are the right player, I'll bring them in. So I did a lot of like building a couple of short lists and stuff like that. And other than that, hired some staff. I found an assistant manager, and I saw his name, and I couldn't remember why I knew who he was. And Joe, you're the only one that might know this guy. He played for Chelsea in the 90s, and his name is Erland Janssen. Now we're going way back. This is like probably... he would have been blonde back
Blue
in the
eyes?
day. He's definitely grey now.
Yeah.
Like myself,
Definitely
blonde
blonde,
back in the day and grey
Yeah.
now. Yeah, so he's
Well, that's
come
not
in as
just a
my
Newcastle
assistant.
haircut.
Sadly,
No,
Sadly,
no.
no. That's a Sophie caused haircut, but we won't go that far. She knows. Who else did we bring in? Got a couple of scouts. Per Zetterberg, former Swedish player. Johan Elmander. You remember he scored that
Yeah,
goal for
him
Wolves?
of
Yeah,
the Wolves goal.
yeah. Oh, that
Sure.
was against Wolves. Yes.
Yeah.
Get
So
it.
they're
Get it
coming in
out.
as scouts. Ebbe Sand. Do you remember Eb Sand? Eb Sand, Danish striker. He's coming as an attacking coach for me. Eb Sand, EBBE. I remember him being a bit of a target man back in the day. So yeah, not like you, Joe. I don't really go into calculations too much. I'm looking at staff, looking at their attributes, looking at their experience and where they played, and that usually is enough.
I will say with staff, like I do look at their attributes first. So I'll go in like the staff search. Sometimes I do place adverts because you pick up people that you wouldn't normally get. But normally I've always lived by DDM, determination, discipline, motivation. And then I use that as a multiplier against the attribute that I want. So I normally just search via the DDM and then it'll bring up all of them. And then I just go on my views, click on defense, click on attack, click on, technical coaching, whatever it is, and just find the one that matches my criteria. It was only when I was looking for that set pieces coach, because set piece coaches are new and it's kind of like, it's very specific. And I thought, you know what, I'll get one who's got other coaching attributes, and that's why I done my little calculations there and found someone that looks half decent.
You actually mentioned set piece coach as well. As I was doing research about this save, I mentioned to you before that Alexander Isak came through the ranks at AIK. So he was there since he was 8 or 9 or something. There was a lovely article on The Athletic, I think, where they basically one of the writers went over to Stockholm and met a couple of the academy staff there. And the guy they interviewed, his name is, I'm going to try and pronounce it, Henok Goitom. But basically, he's got Eritrean heritage, which is what Isak has. So he's known Isak since he was a kid. So the interview was all with this guy, and I was like, "Oh, that's lovely. I hope that coach is in FM24 when they load to save." And he's there, but he's down as a set piece coach, and he's not a brilliant set piece coach. And I kind of I want to keep him around because he's got that tie with Isak, and obviously did a nice interview. But I think I'm going to need a better set piece coach. So.
Can you change
Is it? Yeah.
Can't you,
I'm gonna have to
offer a new contract and get him?
I will, yeah. When I eventually press continue, I think we'll give it a go.
Get him in the under 19s.
Yeah.
So that's AIK after a couple of hours, Duke.
Awesome. Well, again, we'll probably hear a lot more about that next week, right? I'm going to give you a little brief overview of my time at Manchester. Not that one where Mads lot beat us. Another time. I simmed to the 6th of November and took over from there. And we've been having some interesting results. We've been doing okay. I say that we've lost 2 games. We've won the rest by a couple of draws. But I mean, the two draws I've sent to you in the chat, lads, it's been insane. We've had XG of 4.2, and the other team has scored a goal off one shot, 1 goal, and which was kind of the time where I decided
statistics ruining football again.
to call it a day.
Yeah.
But
The only stat that matters is that one in the top left, but
it is, mate. Do you remember that? That's a network save callback, mate. That is amazing. I missed that one. Yes, you're right.
Soon
but
come.
no, maybe you never know. We are playing a flat back 4. Like I said, referenced before, we've got a wing back on attack on the right, inverted wing back on defend, inverted fullback on defend, which is obviously a new role. And we're playing Luke Shaw in there, who last year with injuries, he kind of stepped in and played in centre back in real life, and he's very good at the role. I do like it. I like the way that he stays so close to that back, the two centre backs, and it gives us that little bit more support. The issue is obviously Luke Shaw is quite good in attack, so we are kind of compromised on that, but we do have some great attacking players in front of us. I've got a DM on defend, a ball winning midfielder, a box to box next to an AP. The AP last year, Mad, we talked about the CM on attack in 20.
CM on attack.
One being amazing. Last year, the AP on attack was kind of just as good. And this year, I've had some really good success as Bruno Fernandes as an AP on attack. Now, I don't know whether that's just because Bruno Fernandes is an excellent player or what, but he just seems to have absolute fun on that role, and he just seems to completely run at that back four and then play some beautiful passes through. So I've really enjoyed that, and I've got inverted winger on one side, inside forward on the other, and then I've got Højlund up top as an advanced forward. I'm not liking Anthony. I've got rid of Sancho, decided he was kind of go down the IRL route. So I sold him to Tottenham for 40 million, which I think is a bit too cheap, really, but we got rid of him. Victor Lindelof has gone to Real Madrid, which is mental. It just blows my mind. He went for 12.5 million. He's got 6 months left on his contract. So I didn't want to sign him for a new one, so I thought I'd get cash in. A bit like Johnny Evans, I've cashed in on him as well. He's gone to Saudi Arabia. You'll never guess how much he's gone for. 600k, not a lot. No, it's fine.
A week.
It's like, actually, what is he on a week? He is on 35 grand a week, so not bad. But I was expecting like Saudi Arabia have come in for him. I was expecting millions of pounds, but unfortunately not. And I've actually let Anthony Martial go on a free. Reason being is we're saving the money on the wages. I couldn't get rid of him. I want him off. He was on an extortionate amount of money, and I wanted to get rid of the wages, which left me with 95 million to spend. I wanted to put a right winger out on that right and eventually sell Anthony. Again, probably because my IRL thoughts on Anthony, but also the fact that in game he's not been amazing. And then Joe kind of tweaked and had a little look and showed me his asymmetric formation with the two strikers, which is the one that I played at Napoli in the network save. We referenced that network save yet again. And I thought, we could do that. And I could pair a striker up and go down that route. Which striker should we use? There's only one striker about. £86 million release clause. Victor Osimhen is in the bag. He's only just joined. And obviously, with the African Cup of Nations, he's not been able to play many games. He missed his debut being against Liverpool, which was a shame. His debut was against Bournemouth. He got a goal in the 11th minute, a goal in the 14th minute, and a goal in the 48th minute to make it a lovely hat trick. I found myself kind of picking up the team we were about 8th or 9th. We're now currently sat 3rd in the Premier League. We are out of the Champions League. When I joined the club, I needed to win all of my games to stay in the Champions League, and I think there's 3 left, and we lost the 2 away to Seville, so we are in the Europa League. But apart from that, we're doing pretty good. I'm enjoying it. We're having fun, and we're doing all right. So that's happy days.
Do you know something? I always remember this. Gary Neville, when he was at Valencia, right? I'm sorry, after Valencia, but he said something in that when you're a struggling club, get out of the cups.
Yeah, okay.
Which,
but, I mean,
like same with the Champions League, but it's like his thing was get out of the cups. Like, that's what he wishes. He probably wishes he'd won a few, but he understands football. Like he shouldn't have taken that job, but he said he focused on trying to win in the cup games. Like he should have just got out of them and just focused on the league. And it's because he never got a chance to actually be on the training ground for more than a couple of days. It was like, a couple of days, game, recover, another game. Like it was like that. He just like, if you got out of the cups, you've got weekend football. And then that way you can, if you're a struggling side, you can be better in the league. And I always thought, what, it's not a bad take for if you're like lower division. You got a relegation dogfight or whatever, just play the youngsters, get knocked out of the cup and just have Saturday, Sunday football.
I mean, what are you really going to earn by going to like the 4th round of the Carabao Cup or the 3rd round of the FA? It's not going to be a massive amount.
If you're a Premier League team, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be in it.
No.
But like as a tactical thing of going, do you know what? I'll get knocked out of the cups and just focus on all the players, like you say about rotation and players getting tired. You know, if you've just got weekly football, like what a direction to try and go for.
Maybe that's
It's nice to see that
Hag's trying to do at the moment. Yeah, he's out of the Carabao Cup. We're probably going to be out of the Champions League. The problem is with the Champions League, we've dropped down to the Europa League. So we are now in the Europa League. We just played the last game before we did the pod. I just played. I played Dynamo Zagreb, and this is playing the asymmetric system with Osimhen and Højlund up top. Rashford is injured, so we have got Garnacho on the left. I had 34 shots, 15 on target, an XG of 4.56, 20 corners. I scored 1 goal in the second minute. Zagreb had 1 shot, 1 on target, 0.13 XG, and they scored in the 55 minute to make it 1-1. So I could be out. I could get out when I have to go over to Croatia.
Need to slow that tempo down, boy. Work the ball into the box.
Mate, I'll be honest. I think if I could click it back up again, their goalkeeper had like a 9.1, and we hit like.
Mate, you see a goalkeeper go over 7, mate. You know you're having a bad day.
Oh, mate, I do you know. I might have lied to you. What is it? Oh no, it was an 8.8. So he had a good game. And yeah, it just frustrated me massively. But that's football. That's Football Manager for you. And we had it.
Is that Livakovic's replacement then, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it would have been. I can't click his name. What was his name?
That's my stomach, by the way.
You should have gone. That was the dog.
That was my stomach.
Mislav,
mate.
a chap called Mislav Katina. He's from Bosnia, 26 years of age. Attributes look all right, to be fair. Absolute killer. It was awesome against us. But yeah, so kind of the aim is to qualify for Champions League. I don't think we'll win the league. Liverpool and City are kind of 6-7 points ahead of us. And then it's going to be focusing on sorting that back line out. Lisandro Martinez is always injured, unfortunately. Varane runs like he needs a poo. I just want to get some new centre backs.
So what's your ideal?
So I wanted to go for the chap from Sporting, Inacio. Is it Inacio?
Yeah, Monday.
Inacio.
Gonzalo Inacio.
Inacio, yeah. So he's always available. He's a lovely looking guy. He had I think he had a release clause of about 30-40 million. But obviously I spanked all the money on Victor Osimhen, so I couldn't go for him. And I went to try and like give him a little deal with putting Harry Maguire in and structuring a deal, and then Liverpool just went and paid the thing. So I haven't really looked. Scalvini looks an extortionate amount. Yeah, Bastoni looks an extortionate amount. So I'd kind of like to go for somebody a little bit more left wing. We'll probably send that back, to be fair. But there's a lad at RB Salzburg who we played in the Champions League, and he was amazing. Pavlovic.
22
years of age. He did used to be at Monaco. There you go. Yeah, he's only 22. He's a left-footed, 6'4" centre back. So for me, that's perfect. So I might kind of go for him.
Isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like a horrible bastard as well.
I don't know. I haven't got the face pack in, so I don't know what he looks like. But yeah, kind of that sort of vibe. And then obviously probably the other one would be that kind of player in front of them. Amrabat will go back off loan. Casemiro's probably run his course. He's either suspended or injured. I think he's only played about 4 of my games. I've been actually playing Kobe Maino in there, but he's not up to standard just yet. However, really weirdly, Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle on deadline day, without any interest, just came straight in for him on deadline day, and they were offering like 3 or 4 million. So not a lot, but it was just strange that all 3 of them come in and offered about the same. So maybe his agent behind the scenes was trying to get a move because I wasn't given the game time. I don't know.
Contract? Does he have a slightly shorter contract or something? Maybe.
No, I think he's on a relatively good one. To be fair, yeah, he's on till 2027. He is only earning 10 grand a week.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
And he is loan listed. I'd listed him up for loan, but it now doesn't state that anybody's interested in whatsoever. But he's got a good determination. He's only 18. And the one thing I really like about him is his passing, his vision, and his technique are brilliant. But he's got such a high level of composure, which in that middle is going to be key later down the line. So yeah, he might be the one. I might not need to spend any money on that chap. But yeah,
Nice.
that's it really. That's my update from Manchester United. The plan is just to stay there until the man cave gets built, which I showed you a picture of that, lads. That's going really well. Really, really well.
Loser of the week.
Wow, that's harsh. Adventures in Wonderkid-Land. I think I'll be the loser of the week on the quiz, probably, Dave. For this week's adventure in Wonderkid-Land, we have a player with a very recognizable surname that has grabbed our attention. That player is Arion Ibrahimovic, who we are assured is no relation to the big man. This one is a 17-year-old German wonderkid, attacking midfielder, currently shining in Serie A for Frosinone on a season-long loan from Bayern Munich. Right, chaps, what do we think about this chap?
I'm giving you that. That's a great pronunciation.
Mate, I'm so tired.
That's good. No, that's right.
Frosinone? I haven't got a clue.
It was good for you.
Shall we tell them that Joe's literally written Fro-Z-No?
I'll be honest.
Phonetically.
Mad,
I wouldn't have known how to pronounce it either.
Mate,
Mad, I'll be honest.
I've known him for about 8 years now. He still calls him
I play to my
Florentina.
strengths.
Nunez for Liverpool.
Specific.
Mate, mad.
Florentina.
I just got to do what I got to do, all right? What do you think about this
You
lad?
do
His
you.
attributes are insane. Pace and acceleration
He's
13,
getting him up on
dribbling
screen now.
14.
I've
Yeah,
got
technique 14, flair 16. No, he meant for the video. Free kicks 15, determination 15. He's pretty good, isn't he?
I think sort of the beauty now with the full release is that we can actually see these players PAs as well, and he's got a very good PA in the game.
You always bring it back to cheating, don't you?
How's that cheating? Because we've been talking about Wonder Kids and we don't know what their potential is.
Well,
Dave as a researcher,
yeah, he has.
that is his, that's what he bases his research on. Is when you're looking at young players, it is about ability, like potential ability.
Well, for the listener,
And we're
as
called
well,
5-star potential. So
Yeah.
it
you
is
could
like,
have 5-star potential on their saves. But and the good thing is, a lot of these young players at like 17, their determination is a random attribute. So you could load up a save and a player has 2 determination, and that really limits how they'll grow as a player. But Ibrahimovic, as in Arion, he's set
Good
at
pronunciation
15.
for you.
Yeah. He's set at 15, so that's a really it gives you a good start straight away. But I think it looks a very good player, like really well-rounded attributes for someone at 17. Well, you got a lot of 12s, 13s, 14s already. I think he'd be a tidy winger, like an inside forward. Only downside I would say is possibly that he's at Bayern, but sort of similar. Who's the lad at Dortmund? We spoke about a week or two ago. He could get frozen out the Bayern setup within a few years.
Raikoff,
so
that
could
was it.
become available. Yeah.
Mm.
But I like him a lot.
Yeah, I was even surprised he's still only 17. I feel like I've seen the name over the last year.
Yeah, probably have.
Yeah, it's quite common.
no. I feel like I've seen this player over the last year or so, and I was amazed he was 17. Even when you look at the attributes, just to see the spread, and how again the eye test, the spread of attributes looks a lot better than most 17-year-old, even like wonder kids, whatever about players. And the 2 things I spotted were his player traits. So he's got tries, tricks in there, which is you'd love to see that for match engine purposes. Combining that with the fact that he's got like good technique and good flair, and likes to run with the ball. So like there is a ton of stuff you can do with this player in FM24.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because I'll be like, player trait, attempts overhead kicks.
Yes.
just let him play up to the namesake.
Yeah.
Well, he's been
he's
definitely playing up IRL. 3 goals, 3 assists in 7 games this season. Also, Mad, I'm going to steal your stat here. He is the youngest player in the Big 5 European leagues to have scored and provided assists in a single match in this current season, which is insane.
How is he not related to Zlatan? It just doesn't make sense.
His mum and his dad are not Zlatan.
Yes.
I know in Ireland your family trees are a little bit muddled. Over here, it's probably a little bit.
We have a lot of trees over here.
Family trees are just that, aren't they?
Okay, let me ask you this: would you sign him?
Yeah.
Yes.
What I was going to say though is where would you
Yes.
play him? Because I think he's more central than a winger.
Football pitch.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think
I would play him centrally.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
ten's
think
a
there's
bit.
a lot of
The ten's a
places.
bit of a dying position, isn't it now? So he's gonna be
Yeah.
off of a flank.
Yeah, but even like a CM attack now. Do you
Or
think?
deep,
Yeah.
I was going to say, or deeper. He could play that Bruno Fernandes role.
I'm only saying that is because on his Wikipedia as well, his style of play is actually a box-to-box midfielder, and he's earned comparisons similar to Leon Goretzka.
I mean, he's
He
got
was
great,
listed,
great passing, great technique, great vision. He could play a bit deeper, definitely.
Because Joe, you spotted him in that team of the week from the Football Talent Scout, and he was down as a central midfielder, so
Yeah.
he must be kind of hanging around there for Frosinone as well. But like I
He
said,
is
he's
an
very
old
versatile.
school. He's an old school. What I would have brought into midfield to retrain as a CM attack. Those attributes scream that.
Do it.
So yeah,
Man
Dave,
United.
you're right. He would have played deeper. Talking about Dave being right, it's your time to be right and us to be wrong. It is
Well,
quiz time, David.
Boys, I wish I had a
1 minute to
different.
12 midnight.
Yeah, I wish I had a different
1 minute
style
to.
of quiz for you. Dude isn't going to be happy. We've got another career paths quiz. I'm sure
Okay,
very,
that's
very
fine.
soon I will have a new style of quiz for you all. But as I
You mean a
mentioned,
good one?
as I mentioned, the Copa Libertadores earlier, this is a South America themed quiz. So all these players are from South America. All I want you to do is shout your name, shout the player.
Joe,
I've got
Neymar,
a
North
pen.
Star.
If you know, you know.
Mad, Messi.
But a lot of them, I would say, have all been not Ibrahimovic. I don't know why I've got his page up still. I would say have all been favourites on Football Manager. So it's not going to be your Messi's, your Neymars. It's going to be players that are also forgotten wonder kids. So
Like who?
was it? Yeah. What? We're going to start off with number one. Too late for you to piss aloud. First team played for Santos. It's not Neymar. He then moved to
Joe.
Joe?
Oh, sorry, mate. I was glitching out then. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I'm sure you said
What did I say?
Santos.
Yeah, Santos.
It's all right, mate.
Santos.
And then he moved to Sao Paulo. Then he moved to Sevilla.
Joe.
Joe.
I don't know why I just didn't go from his side. It's Ganzo.
Yeah, it is Ganso.
Ganso.
Luigi Ganzo.
Did you go to Portugal after that?
No, Sevilla. Then he was at Amiens on loan. Is that in France?
Yeah, mate. He's got
Oh, yeah.
fucking knees like
And then he
wooden
currently plays
blocks.
for Fluminense.
He's playing on Saturday night.
Next one. Started his career at Independiente. Then he moved to Atletico Madrid.
Joe.
Joe.
Sergio Aguero.
It is Aguero. Yeah.
I was trying.
I need to broaden my horizons. Here.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to bang these on the first one.
There's not many of these. So next one. You might get this one first one too. Started his career at Atletico Huila. Then he moved to Envigado.
Joe.
Joe.
Freddie Guarin.
It is Freddie Guarin.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on fire.
Man,
He's on
this is
fire.
embarrassing for you, mate. Come on.
Okay.
How are you,
Come on,
dude?
come on.
I'm just reading my outro in my head. So
Yeah.
There.
Next one, number 4. He started his career at Sao Paulo. Then he moved to Internacional.
stomach's going again.
That's my belly. I don't know what's going on my belly.
Craving a
Internacional.
privet.
Then he moved to Chelsea.
Ooh.
And he currently plays for Shanghai Port.
Mad.
Joe.
I do.
Mad.
Oscar?
Yeah, he is Oscar.
That's what I was
Well
going to
done.
say.
Dupe's
Too
son.
modern for me, mate.
Yeah. Next one. Started his career at Internacional. Then he moved to AC Milan. Then he moved to Corinthians, which included a loan spell at Sao Paulo and a loan spell at Chelsea.
Hmm.
He
I'm
then
going to say
moved to...
Joe.
Go on.
I'm not sure it is, but I'm going to say Pato.
It is Alexandre
That's a great
Pato.
shout.
It is,
Wow.
Where did he
Yeah.
Who's
start?
next?
Internacional. Scored 7
He was
goals in
Sao
18.
Paulo for some reason.
No, he
Where
plays for
did he
Sao
go
Paulo
after
now.
that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He was at Sao Paulo, Chelsea on loan, then moved to Villarreal. Then he was at Tianhai. Mate, he scored 30 goals in 47
Mate,
in China.
I love. There's a story that R9 Ronaldo says about Pato when they went in the Brazilian. Like he was called up first time for the Brazilian national squad, and he basically walked in, and there was Ronaldo and Kaká, and he's like, "Where to sit?" And he's like, Ronaldo's like, "Give him a copy of Playboy, like Playboy with me, God with Kaká." And it's like, "Where do you want to go?"
Went the wrong way,
he was
didn't
a baller at AC Milan, though. How good
just
was
bad
he at AC
injury.
Milan?
Bad injury,
he?
mate.
Yeah, bless
Mate,
He
him.
was very good.
He was good at Chelsea. I remember him scoring an absolute banger at Chelsea, I'm sure.
I love his goal for AC against Barca, man.
Mm.
For the Champions
Yes,
League.
maybe I'm thinking of that one. Yeah, that's the one that's played a lot.
Right, next one. This is number 6. Started his career at Vélez Sarsfield. And he moved to PSV, which included a loan back to Vélez Sarsfield and currently on loan at Racing Club.
Oh, he's fresh.
Joe,
Joe.
Maximiliano Romero.
Correct. It is Maxi
Oh,
Romero.
you love Max Romero, yeah.
Joe's running away with it tonight, boys.
He is.
Mate, when we
See,
do one of
because
these
it's gone
live
past
and we do a
midnight.
quiz, mate, I will fucking bottle it.
Yeah. Right, next one. He started his career at Fluminense.
Joe, Marcelo.
Wrong.
Oh, good.
Then he
Freeze him
moved.
out.
Yep. Then he moved to Arsenal. At Arsenal, he was out on loan at Levante, out on loan at Alcoyano, out on loan at Ponferradina, out on loan at Murcia.
Mad?
on- Mad.
It's definitely not. I'm just like Brazilian at Arsenal. I'm stuck on Danielson, the midfielder, but there's no
No, it's
connection
not
there.
Danielson.
is there?
Good
Sao
idea,
Paulo.
though.
He come from
Yeah.
Sao Paulo.
He's out on loan at Almira. He went out on loan to Bolton Wanderers. He then left Arsenal permanently to join Fluminense. During his time there, he went out on loan to Internacional. Then he joined Gamba Osaka. And now he currently plays for Cuiabá.
Arsenal and Bolton. Did you say Bolton on loan?
Yeah, Bolton on loan before he left Arsenal permanently. I can give you a big clue here. And
You take his position.
the clue is work permit.
Look at Joe's smug face.
You know, Joe.
Joe knows it, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I don't think I've seen so many loans from one club in my life.
No,
I'm trying to remember.
looks like my credit report.
What?
I hope not.
Give us a position,
Not-
Dave.
not now.
It's down as a
Striker.
winger. Yeah, it's down as like a forward.
Is
yeah.
he that Lucas? What's his name?
No, not Lucas.
Okay.
Give up?
Any other clues?
Not really.
Do you one name or two names?
Two.
He's got 2 names.
Didn't help. Joe put us out of our misery.
Wellington Silva.
Yeah, he's Wellington Silva, yeah.
Wellington.
He was at
Silva.
Arsenal. He never got his work permit, did he? So that's why he had to have all those loans.
Good grief.
But he's able to play at Bolton without a work permit.
I think that must be when he got his work permit. Because that was like 5 years after he joined Arsenal.
Crikey.
Right, next one. Started his career at Cobreloa. Then moved to Udinese, which included a loans to Joe.
Bruno Fernandes.
No. Included loans to Colo Colo and River Plate. Then he joined Barcelona. Then
Joe?
he moved to Joe.
Saviola.
No, incorrect. Then he moved to Arsenal.
Mad. No.
Mad.
I've gone in way too early here.
Go on.
I was thinking it was this guy Belletti, but he wasn't Arsenal. He was Chelsea.
No.
Just run through them clubs again quickly. Don't worry about the first one because you butchered that.
Udinese, Barcelona. No, Udinese, Arsenal, Barcelona, right?
No. Udinese, Colo Colo and River Plate on loan. Barcelona, Arsenal. Then he moved to Manchester United.
Mad. Alexis Sanchez.
It is Alexis Sanchez.
Oh my
for that.
gosh.
Come on, dude. I was looking at you there, son.
You
Oh,
loved that
mate.
Bruno
I
Fernandes
did-
shout on a South American quiz, didn't you?
Yeah.
After getting like 5 out of 6 right, Joe.
Yeah.
I was just as soon as a Brazilian called that, Joe. I trusted you fully.
Okay, this
He
will be an
speaks
interesting one.
Portuguese.
This will be an interesting one. Right. Started his career at Coritiba.
Oh, Joe.
Joe.
Oh,
Kerrison.
It is Kerrison, yes.
not that guy again.
I didn't do Kerrison the other week, did I? It
No.
was
No, it was
Curlon,
Curlon.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Curlon,
Go.
yeah.
Right, the final one as well. I think we know the
Sorry,
winners,
lads.
but he's started his
Alright.
career at
Winner takes all on this one. Come on.
yeah,
We
go
can
on,
all win.
last point winner. Started his career at Deportivo Pereira. Then he moved to Granada.
Oh, dude.
Doop.
No, I'm joking. Look how shocked you all
Oh
are.
my God.
Your
Granada.
faces, then.
Gee.
He went to America di Cali on loan. He then joined Watford, where he joined. Mad? No?
I've gone too soon, I think. I was just trying to get
Go
in
on.
for the last one. I'm going for a Yasser Espria, but it's too fresh.
No, it's not.
Joe.
Way too fresh.
Joe?
João Pedro.
No, it's not João Pedro either. So Watford, he joined Huesca on loan, Mallorca on loan, Getafe on loan. Mad.
No, I've gone wrong here again. I'd say. Didn't Richarlison play for Watford?
Yeah, but it's not Richarlison there.
Gee.
And he currently plays for Columbus Crew. Oh, I thought you get this one.
Mad.
Go on, Mad.
What's that Chucho Hernandez guy? No?
Chucho Hernandez, yeah.
What's his real name? It's not Chucho. It's
Juan Camilo Hernandez
Juan.
Suarez. Yeah, Juan Hernandez.
Good shout.
take that
No,
dignity.
no idea, mate.
So the
Winner
winner
takes
is
all.
Mad.
Love it.
Winner takes all.
We'll take that for a bit of dignity back. But well done, Joe.
Just to remind you all, it's been 3 weeks and Dupe has not picked up a single point. Good night.
No, do you know I haven't? Do you know what?
He's
Them,
had you.
I can't. cheat
Mate,
on
I
them.
guarantee you get a
Nah, they're
Sporkle
just
quiz,
fucking-
mate. He wins.
Nah, no, do you know? It's that's before my time. Just before my time. Mate, it's also.
You've
Can
got
I also
fucking
point?
Chicho
It's
and
10
Andy.
past 10. It's 10 past 12 at midnight. It's fucking late. The
Oh,
game's been out the whole day. It's ridiculous.
7 hours.
It's
really.
FM25
Great
now.
quiz, Dave. Thanks,
Thank you,
mate.
guys.
That
Thank
does
you,
bring
guys. Yeah.
Episode number 326 to a close, though. You can find the links to each of us in the podcast description or by visiting 5starpotential.com, where you can find our latest FM24 content, including the 5-Star Potential Talent Factory and this very podcast in video form. 5-Star Potential is available on iTunes, Spotify, and most other popular podcast apps and platforms with a new podcast released every single week. Thank you all for listening. There'll be more from us next week. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Arrivederci.